It's enough power. I'm saying it right now. It's enough power as I pull away in 4th gear. What's up, crusty crew? How's everybody doing? Uh-oh, what do we got here? This lady is crazy. She's driving in the street with a baby. On a scale of what's fucked up, that's fucked up, and that's fucked up. Holy shit, how did that guy do that? Am I gonna get this light? I might not get this light. Let's do this. So yeah, we're heading to the beach. And there are plenty of beaches, beachside access we can get to. We're gonna find a nice cozy spot. I don't know where, but the weather has been just so gorgeous. I really want to take a dip. A lot's happened since we've last talked. Actually, yesterday I went to a Harley Davidson demo day, and that was the most fun I've had in a long while. It was awesome. I rode 4 bikes, including the live wire, and the live wire was just like mental how fast that thing was. Just mental. Let's go straight. It was pretty crazy how much power was on top. You really have to recalibrate your version of speed. You know what? But it was what I loved the most about it. It was just all accessible. You could really pin the throttle down once you get moving and not worry about, you know, the bike just like flipping up, which is pretty insane because it has 110 horsepower and like 105 feet of torque. Hey, there we go. So this is really an experiment for me because I haven't done this. I haven't packed a bag full of gear in order to go to the beach on the motorcycle, because often I'm conflicted. I'm like, well, if I want to go to the beach, I can't ride today because I got to throw the shit in my car. That is a sick GTO. The Judge. So today I've decided not to compromise and to do both. I'm riding, enjoying the ride, and I am going to the beach. So in a way I have compromised. What's up, bud? That's a 48. That thing is sweet. I rode one of those yesterday. And I know I can park in a few places because I'm on a motorcycle, but I don't always feel so comfortable parking it next to people rollerblading and skating and biking and doing what they do. Plus, there's not a lot of spots. Oh, tell me this is a spot. You know what? It's not a spot, but I'm going to take it. I'm gonna back this boy in. You might be wondering why I'm not just backing it in with my feet, and the reason is I cannot reach. I know, so sad. But when I test rode those Harleys the other day, I think the best part about it was how low the seat heights were. They were heavy, but the seat height was low. Let's give this guy enough room. I think that's adequate. I can kill it. Hey, perfect. So yeah, the Harley, the live wire was awesome. I drove a couple different variants of the 48. And then I drove one bike with the Screaming Eagle engine. And I don't actually know what it was called, but it had a Stage 2 kit in it. I'll post a picture of it right now. Oh man, that thing was, I was having so much fun. It was so loud, so fast. It didn't feel as fast as the live wire, obviously, but it was the noise from that thing was just beyond compare. I'm gonna put this picture here for Corey. I was totally from South Park, Harley guys. Yeah, the long story short, I am sold on Harleys. The 48s really shook like crazy, and I wasn't like, it wasn't bad, but it wasn't good either. Like, I can see, like, at a stoplight, the thing just wants to fucking knock your teeth out. As the adage goes, rattle your teeth out. But I mean, you can't deny they're just a hell of a lot of fun. And like, when I was riding this white one that I'm picturing now, I swear I just felt like I was like rolling through cornfields in Wisconsin. Like the word that kept coming to mind was agricultural. I felt like I was riding a small fire engine through the fields. Like, it was just so like Americana. Like the way everything was built, the chrome, all the like the way the gears engaged, everything was heavy and mechanical. It felt like a big tractor, like a shiny, fast little tractor, which I loved. And I would totally get one. So, anything that I need to go over before I go to the beach? Nope. What are we gonna do with these boots? I think these are gonna be fine right here. Also, pro tip. Throw shit in your helmet. There's a lot of space down here. Throw the visor down. Got room for all kinds of shit. Put the strap on. Carry it. All right. Oh, yeah. This looks pretty good. Gear in check. Jacket. Sandals. Easy as that. That was fun. Took a nice little dip. I'd say that was mostly successful. Check out the slingshot. There's a bunch of them around here. Things that I noticed, I was like, got my hair wet, and I was like, wait, I have to put my head in this helmet again. But it dried off pretty quick. I hope my boots are still there. Other than that, it was pretty easy. This backpack I have has a hard shell. No sand got in it. No sand got in my jacket. I did leave my keys in my pocket when I jumped in though, so I'm just happy I didn't lose those. Hey, my boots are still there. It's pretty epic. Oh, that feels so good. I'm slightly damp in some places, but when the wind hits it, it is phenomenal. Gonna watch out for pedestrians. And we're off! Oh man, it's gorgeous out. So that was sweet. Okay, now I know I can go to the beach on my motorcycle. Yeah, I would say if you're not bringing a whole lot with you and the journey isn't too long where you don't need provisions like food or beer or snacks, not beer, or whatever, then it's totally doable without any like storage on, like I don't have on the side of my bike. I don't have like a tank bag or storage or a seat butt or a seat bag. So I'd say it's totally doable. You just have to be comfortable with being a little uncomfortable, because you can't bring all the things. This bike feels so much more different than what I was riding yesterday. It's insane. But it feels good. It feels light. It feels snappy. Getting off a Harley or just, you know, your American-made motorcycle and coming onto this, like, everything is different. Every single thing, it just feels completely different. Obviously, bike is in a much lower price range, but a lot of things stand out. Mainly, one is the clutch. The clutch on the Harleys feel like so industrial, so heavy. You really have to be doing your freaking hand workouts. Otherwise, at the end of a long ride in traffic, you're gonna be feeling it. But the clutch engagement is just so clickety-clack, clunk. It feels so good. Obviously, the blinkers are different. All Euros and JDMs have the blinkers on the left. I think most do, at least. And the Harley is famous for having one over here where the starter button would be. The bike felt supremely well put together. However, I did notice a few quality control issues, even on the low mileage bikes that I was on. I was on the blue 48 and the speedometer actually was like off center. So I'm sure that's a small issue that you could fix, but it seems like when they put the bikes together at the dealership or whatever, there are a few things that can vary from bike to bike. The paint was immaculate. The chrome was immaculate. As far as suspension goes, the suspension, I could see the suspension on that bike. It's huge on those Harleys. And I can see them doing work. I can see them going up and down, but it doesn't actually translate to much comfort on the road. I imagine the suspensions were brand new on those bikes and they will break in. However, it did feel stiff. I'm sure I could adjust it as well, but it did feel very harsh, the suspensions on those cruisers. The people that were running the event were amazing. They couldn't have been nicer. And if you've never been to a demo day, essentially, now that I have been to one, I can tell you that it's so easy. You don't actually have to register for it. You can show up. But I registered online the day of, got there, they signed me up, put me in their system. Obviously, you have to sign a few waivers, probably signing your life away. But after that, you could pretty much, from what I can tell, you could ride bikes all day. As soon as you wanted to test the live wire, they actually had you go and sign additional paperwork. I assume because the bike costs $30,000 and there's some extra liability, some other tier of insurance, probably. But I signed it, and I was actually a little bit nervous approaching it. But when you pretty much just tell them which one you want to ride, you stand next to it, you get briefed, And they're not trying to sell you anything. If you're there just to ride, you can tell them, hey, I'm just here to ride. It's actually an option on the sign-up thing, and they won't really pressure you. The people that were running it were so eager to help you, either if you had questions about the bike or just helping you get signed up. The event was run so smooth, and I'm a huge fan of Alligator Alley Harley Davidson in Florida. What can I tell you about riding the Vitpilen? I am so much more comfortable on this bike than when I first started out. You know, when you first start riding on your first bike, everything kind of feels a little bit scary, and not in a bad way, just you almost feel like you're gonna drop it all the time. If you're not focusing on what you're doing, it's very likely that something can go wrong. You should always be focusing on what you're doing, but my muscle memory has adapted to this bike. It is so easy. I just get on and go now. And now that I've ridden a fair few amount of bikes after this one, I think, a lot of people ask me about power in the comments, and should I just go with a like a 650? Is the power getting boring? And I would say still, after riding those Harleys, and even the super fast live wire, does this feel, does it still feel acceptable? And I would totally say yes. I mean, my perception has changed about what fast is. I'm not scared to hit the throttle on this. I'm banging shifts out full throttle on this, no problem. But it's still fun. I mean, you have to judge each bike on its own merits, and this just scores so highly on its own merits. The power delivery is sweet. It is, you definitely get the power up in the top end, but it is a thumper, and there is, good usable low down torque that you wouldn't find otherwise. I think the power is still acceptable. Am I itching to, kind of move up in the power range? Yeah, I'd say I would. I am. But I have no complaints. And the same goes for like the quality of the motorcycle. I haven't had any problems with this thing. Knock on wood for me at home. I haven't had any problems. And guess what? I can keep up with the best of traffic. And I can still get into trouble on it. But it's just at a different level. It's not going to surprise you. Yeah, so I would say to all those commenters out there, all those viewers who are commenting, I thank you, who are asking about power, I would say, listen, if this is your first bike, totally go for it. Totally go for it. If you're in between this and something with less power, that's up to you, right? I'm not going to tell you to get, like a 400cc or thereabouts as your first bike. I'm not going to tell you a 250 would be better either. But if you're in between a 370 like this, or a 400 and like a 650, I would say start out with the smaller displacement. Start out with a 370 like this, like that 400 class. If you're in Europe, right, and you have the A2 license thing, and you can get the 650 and just kind of detune it to be A2 compliant, that would be tough to turn down. Listen, I gotta say, but what I will say about the motorcycles is that you can buy and sell these things pretty easily. So if you just wanted to get a bike that's turnkey, you don't want to mess around with getting it detuned and then actually riding a 650 with only like half the power, which doesn't really make a lot of sense to me. I would say get the 370, get the 400, and don't worry about it. It's enough power. I'm saying it right now. It's enough power as I pull away in 4th gear. It's enough power, and you're gonna have fun on it. You're gonna have fun. Alright, so I made it. Ta-da! My GoPro literally died, I think, 50 feet before I pulled it. So we're not doing too bad. But yeah, that's it for today. If you want to see something else, let me know. If you want to start a combo in the comments, let me know. Happy to talk. And I will see you for the next one. Peace.